Alright, time to see if this is working. Just gotta give myself a moment. Hopefully it is. Alright, I'm gonna test out if they can hear me. Yeah, they can. Okay, cool. Alright, so. Found a new game. Knell of Saint Godhrkar. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Or spell it for that matter. And I was like, you know what? Why not try it? So yeah, new series. I don't, like, they said, 5th and 6th chapters were English. I don't know what they mean by that, though. Hopefully the rest of the game is in English. Or else I'm gonna be really sad, but... Yeah, I'm curious on where this game will take me. Yeah, so this is basically saying I started a new save, like, previously. But I just started the new save to see if it was still in English. So yeah. So far it was, so... Nothing... I didn't go that far out, basically. Trying to sing, he moved his lips. Not out of fear of death. The instinct to cry for help, nor our eternal need of breath. But only the bubbling of foam on his blood emerged. What? Other sounds came from elsewhere. His legs trembled uncontrollably. The sound of boots splashing in something. No, that sounds like something is moving. Also, I'm going to turn my volume down a bit. That's kind of loud. I don't know about you, but that was kind of loud for me. The anxious cries. Darkness melted into his eyes so that he could only imagine the police officers' expressions from the sound of their footsteps. Though he could feel some sort of a cloth being compressed on his wound, he'd rather be offered a larger and thicker blanket to cover his damp and freezing body. This was the third tourniquet. The first and second one were soaked in his blood, then dried and stuck directly on his neck. He was unable to remember the details of the murder. Due to blood loss, exhaustion, and vertigo made him feel that his body was much heavier than it was supposed to be. It was as if he was sinking deeper into water, dragged farther into the abyss. Not long after, a man approached him. Attempting to see if he was conscious, the man patted the side of his face repeatedly, and it took him some time to figure out what the man was saying. Every sound had become unclear, except for the murmur of death calling for him. "Hang on. Stay calm." The man's southern accent and clumsy antinomian blew in his ears like a gust of wind. He relied on his hearing, which he had lived on more than his failing sight. He could understand music even before he could talk. About his voice, the Thalazek paper once lauded him as the best singer in Papology. Bro, I'm butchering all of these names. I am so sorry. He was only 16 at that time. Everyone in Thalazak took a leaflet from his father's orchestra before they arrived in Promland. He took people's praise for granted since the day he had begun to sing. He believed that the world would be captivated by him forever. Born with a clear voice and talented mind, he believed that he deserved all the love in the world. Ooh, a bit of a narcissist, huh? A Lithal Theatre should be the Okay, I can't read anymore. Lithal Theatre should be the finale of their tour. No one foresaw that it would be the end of their future. They had been in a rehearsal when Death paid a visit. He remembered the appearance of a blurry shadow, with a sharp voice that could split even the particles in the air. Oh, what the fuck? The singers who stood in the back fell onto the ground. People screamed and rushed to the exit. He saw blood gushing out from one singer's neck, soaking their suits. In the midst of panic, their attempts to stop the bleeding were ineffective. Some of the singers went into convulsions, and they died in seconds. What the fuck? Damn. What happened? Like, are they being murdered by somebody? What is going on right now? Bile welled up in his throat. He stepped backwards, knees weakening, and collapsed on the stage. People died right before his eyes, with agonizing screams he had never imagined coming from human beings. How could it be so? No way. No way did I just hear that. What? How could it be so gut-wrenching? Run. 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 He crawled like a cat, sneaking his way out, trying to escape from the room of death. He tried to stand, but to no avail, due to his father's what? Then a hand grabbed his head. He felt a cold sensation on his neck. Blood maneuvered through his muscles. The murderer then released him, and he fell to the floor for the second time. The blood burned his throat, trickling down onto the wooden floorboards, trilling through the cracks and decorating them with red. He was gasping for air, but only more blood flowed out. So far, his struggle had only drained what was left of his strength. A person then turned him over and froze for a moment. It was the murderer. Shadow scrambled into his eyes. That murderer crouched towards him. Shadows obscured his vision. The murderer crouched towards him. He felt heavy, and for a second his head felt tight. Then, the next second, his mind loosened gently. Later, he saw the police officers wandering, their heavy footsteps hurrying around the premises. What the hell? So, do we know the murderer? A series of visions struck him. His voice, the tourniquet sticking to his neck, the performance in the theater, the first time he sang, the first time he stood on the stage. These memories eased his way towards death. Trying to sing, he moved his lips. Tonality and rhythm were his laws. He believed that through his devotion to music, Votru would never abandon him. Who's Votru? Oh, my poor man's trying so hard. Oh, that's fucked up. But no matter how hard he tried, the only noise that resonated in the air was that of a broken wooden door. Rage seeped into his flowing blood. The murderer's intrusion into his bright future was unforgivable. His voice, moreover, the only thing he cherished. "I will slice your neck like this," he vowed. No, not enough. The murderer must lose every single thing that belongs to him. His feet, his eyes, his tongue, his organs. I will decorate the whole stage with his body. And that wouldn't be the end. He would not end with this. He stretched a hand out into the air, blood and foam trickling onto the floor. Yo, are we about to get cursed? Oh shit. He longed to sing his favorite aria, but how could a violin perform without its strings? He should succumb to darkness. Hatred, grief, and fear flowed down his backbone. gradually ebbing away. Nothing would accompany him but silence in his death, on which his inward screams would have no effect until they ceased to exist. Damn. Yo, what the Is this like an Exorcist game? Why did we need to go so deep into this poor man's death? Holy shit. Damn. Okay, I think I need to turn up the volume now. The volume's kind of quiet now. Here. Bro, this music is fire. I'm gonna let the music play, I'm sorry. I want to listen to it. So yeah, as this little thing described, 7 characters, we're going to be following 7 different protagonists and how each of them lead and connect to each other. Like a bridge. 7 paths leading to the same road. I can't believe this is free, to be honest. This is crazy. If that said something, I do not know what it was. Okay. What day are we starting? December 5th, Thursday. Alright. Cool beans. Ooh, this is a pretty chapel. Upon the altar, one could spot a burning candle. Okay, now I gotta turn down the volume. It's loud for me. I don't know about you guys, but it's loud for me. Okay. The melted wax trailed down the candle to the silver-plated candlestick. This is the text box for displaying the story content. Click the red word in the text will display the relevant information. Okay, so like explaining certain words. Okay, I get that. It's the only lit candle in the entire West Eyrie. It's the only lit candle in the entire West Eyrie chapel, and there's no sign of any visitors. So yeah, it basically explains it. Most populous religion. Okay. What is this? Oh. So it shows who I am playing as. Hyeno Confessor. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not sure. Okay. Ooh, it's voice acted too? Holy shit. Left click or press C on characters' names to access their profiles. Right click or press N to switch to the relationship network of all characters. Okay, so C to get his profile, N to get their relationships. Okay. I'm sure this will be explored later down the path. But let's check out his profile real quick. Priest of the West Irie, he is now managing the chapel of St. Godhrkar Seminary. He brings gospel to the local believers. If I butcher names, I am so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it. He is very popular in the college for his baby face. Disappointed by the inaction of the order during the civil war in Promland, he has stopped reporting to them 3 years ago. He is busy with tending the small chapel and directing the choir of the seminary right now. Kind and righteous as he is, he can be naive sometimes, which probably resulted from his only experience with students and believers. Okay, so he's stuck teaching people. It was the last night. The tomb's gate opened to the faithful, while the dead groaned, bringing filth, blood, and pestilence upon the world. After heaving a deep sigh, Hyseno... Oh, it's Hyseno? So that was a C right there? Oh, I guess it was. Okay. Oh my god, no, please. Hyseno extinguishes the lingering flame and stores the melted candle. I don't know what language this is, but it sounds nice. And so Theophilsa received a decree. His revelation was given by Votru. Thus the Lord sent forth the apostles to heal the sins of men. How kind. The function key in the bottom right corner displays your present karma points. So I have 0 karma, is that good? Click the function key to access relevant menus or shortcut functions. You can set your navigation in the preference menu. Right-click or press escape also enables you to access the menu page. For more shortcut keys, please check the help page. Okay. Okay, stop, please. The confessor gazes down the rows of empty pews. Tomorrow, they will be filled with confessing residents. Wait, why is he named the confessor? Confessors are ministers who lead the services in the chapels, assisted by altar servers in study. Normally, each chapel is assigned 1 confessor and 4 altar servers. In St. Godhrkar as a seminary, altar servers are usually selected from senior prefects of the college. That still doesn't explain what he does. Does he sit in, like, the confessor booth? Is he the confessor booth guy that you talk to? I don't know. I've never went to church.
Theophilsa velgen von Nymf. Himan me velgen. Virtsi iuist.
Theophilsa. Am I pronouncing that right? I'm trying. Theophilsa wanted to test him, so he called out, Velgen, you must burn offerings.
Father Molnithan.
His musings are interrupted by a young girl's voice. Hyseno opens his eyes, catching a glimpse of purple dress emerging from behind the pews.
Are you still in prayer? Oh, I'm very sorry. I thought you might be done.
Hyseno smiles, standing up and beckoning her towards the altar. It's quite all right, Priscilla. My prayer is finished. May I ask what you're doing here, my child? I thought you would be enjoying the holidays by now.
Ah, yes. Preparing for the baptism festival must be exhausting. Is there anything I can do for you, Father?
My thanks, child. I'm grateful for your help. You may sweep over there while I prepare the altar. What are we preparing for the festival? Is that why? But wouldn't that be like outside the church? Why is it inside the building? Or like, do we do a prayer first before we go out? Yeah, man, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Priscilla does as she is told, a bright smile illuminating her face. Hyseno watches her trot away to fetch a broom and is irresistibly moved by her cheerful demeanor and openness. He takes a brass spatula to clean the wax from the candlestick and pops a new candle in, the clanging of the metal blended with the swish of Priscilla's cleaning. Silence filled the chapel the moment Priscilla arrived. While cleaning the floor, she hums a glorious hymn. As the new rising star of the choir, Priscilla was highly anticipated by the St. Godhrkar. Okay, I suck at singing and I suck at humming. I'm going to let you guys do the humming and singing, okay? I'm just going to give you a moment to try it out. Okay, moment over. I'm continuing. As she finishes the song, Priscilla sweeps up the dust and empties it into the dustbin.
Father Mulnathan, I have something to confess.
Chloe?
And that would be?
Your star.
I actually came here to ask permission for us to sing during the festival. Sister Fiona and everyone else in the choir agreed that it's such a waste that we're not singing.
Priscilla rushes over to Hyacinth. I can't, settle for an accent for her. I'm so sorry. Priscilla rushes over to Hyacinth, broom in hand. She stares up at him with her biggest puppy dog eyes, only for Hyacinth to bow his head and sigh. Priscilla, we've been over this. Our choir will not be performing, and that's final.
Siento.
But, Father, it'll be the first baptism day since the war ended. It doesn't make any sense for our chapel not to join in the celebrations.
Priscilla and the others had a point. In fact, everyone who heard that Hyacinth didn't respond to the invitation thought he was being unreasonable. The only one who truly believed his decision was no mistake was Hyacinth himself.
Priscilla.
Priscilla, my dear, don't fight this. I don't like arguing with you.
Godhrkar.
Besides, you would have to compete with performers from all over the country. Even if our choir were selected, you would all have to perform for each of the 3-day celebrations.
Warrior Star.
As you...
Mine.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were still talking. As you mentioned, since it's the first baptism day in 4 years, not even a single mistake would be tolerated. Are you sure that you're prepared, young one?
Z.
Of course we are. Fiona already asked us to practice our performance, and we've already learnt all the songs off by heart.
How diligent.
Star.
And I heard the final show list didn't come out yet, right? Please, let us join. Pretty please?
Priscilla frowned, squinting at her shoes and twisting her fingers sullenly. All it took was one last pleading look to, at last, shake his resolve.
A line.
All right, for the sake of Fiona. The church will screen the performance in 3 days. If you're chosen, then we'll see.
Really?
Xarit.
But if you're not chosen, you'll have to sit and watch the performance as part of the audience. Do you understand?
That's mine.
Yes, Father. We'll definitely win if you let us participate.
Hyacinth's words bring the light of hope back to the little girl's eyes as she holds out her pinky and index finger, looking up at him. The confessor grins and interlocks pinkies with her, making a childhood-style promise. Deal. Now back to work with you.
No take-backs, just like Sandra's bow says.
Utterly confused, Hyacinth also almost drops the Saint Steel he'd been wiping down. Okay, so it's like a tomb of some kind, I guess.
Masp?
Wait a minute. Whose bow?
Your star.
Sister Sandra's, the handsome man that always comes to visit her. I'm really looking forward to their wedding. Oh, can we perform there as well, please?
He comes here? To the seminary? Getting married? Oh, true, bless her, how was that even possible? His little sister was still studying at the woman's college. How could she date in such a sacred place? No. The point was that he didn't even know she had a boyfriend. The revelation shatters Hyacinth's composure like a bullet through a sheet of glass. He closes his eyes, sadly realizing, in a way he had never had before, that Sandra had grown into a woman with her own ideas and secrets. Where are they now, Priscilla?
I just saw them in the library.
Nodding, the confessor sets down his steel and rushes out. Is it steel or stell? I don't know. We're gonna go catch them in the act. Let's go! Haisano goes straight down the hallway towards the chapel's library. The brass on the door was so immaculately polished that a distorted reflection of his face looked back at him. The confessor of St. Godhrkar squeezes 2 pieces of paper in his hand. The tickets for baptism day. Oh, are we gonna invite them? Oh, that's so sweet of us. Oh my god. He has the perfect excuse to step inside, but his feet seem to stick to the floor, keeping him from moving. Sandra's quiet chuckle and the softened voice of a young stranger trickle through the crack in the door. I can't wait. You can't tell him. Forget about the festival. We can meet. As their voices become softer still, Haisano presses himself close against the door. He could have sworn he heard suspicious rustling, and for the sake of Votru, if the boy even dared to. Who's there? The door suddenly pulled open from the inside, causing Haisano to lose his footing. His legs snapped together, causing the solemn confessor to stumble once, then twice, before bumping his head against the door. Oof. The 1 karma point you received from Haisano's injuries is now displayed on the function key. Changing the tendency of stories consumes karma points. Okay, so these are like the points I can use to make decisions. If I'm getting that right. Karma points are gained only by protagonist's injury or death. What? What? Dude, that's fucked up. What the fuck? Bro, I play visual novels to not get murdered because I die every fucking time I play a visual novel. Now I have to die to progress in the game? What? Bro, is this game really fucked up? Did I sign up to like something really fucked up? I mean, the prologue should have been enough proof, but like, oh no. When a protagonist is heavily scarred, he or she may not survive under certain circumstances. Be cautious in acquiring karma points. Oh, so I can hit a point of no return. That... Oh my fucking god. Oh no. The level of injuries of the present character will be displayed on his or her avatar. Yo, this is fucked up. This is fucked up, bro. You will acquire 1 karma point when a protagonist is injured. For every bad ending, you will receive 4 karma points. Oh, fuck. And you know every choice I make right now, because I'm just starting the game, will lead to death. You fucking... I know it, you know it, we all know it. Oh, fuck. Wait, how do we die in this situation? Is red-haired guy just a fucking yandere that fucking murders her brother because he fucking spied or some shit? Like, oh no. Brother, why are you here? Sandra peers over the boy's shoulder, the 2 of them as close as a pair of sparrows in a snowdrift. I thought it was... We thought you were some suspicious man. The young man steps forward and gives a friendly smile. But thankfully not. You must be the Reverend Father Mulnathan. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you would be stopping by. Haisano doesn't like the young man at all. He doesn't appreciate the poorly disguised sarcasm, nor the aura the man gives off. An aura which certainly doesn't belong in a seminary. Father Haisano is fine, thank you. I've come to deliver your ticket for the baptism festival, Sandra. I hope you and... Haisano leaves his invitation dangling in the air, hoping Sandra's uninvited guest would state his name. However, the boy appears nervous, pulling the tip of his hat over his eyes. An awkward silence filled the room. Sandra's eyes shift between her brother and her boyfriend before she finally nudges the boy. Sorry. I'll be leaving now. I just came to get some old newspapers, that's all. I'll, see you later, Sandra. It was nice to meet you, Father Hyacino. Good day. After the footsteps fade away, Hyacino turns to his sister. Sandra stands near a shelf, head bowed, and clutches a newspaper in her hand.
Dear Chloe.
Who was that hooligan you were flirting with just now?
Dosta!
He's not a hooligan! He has a name, you know! It's Letzerl! I mispronounced that so fucking bad.
Shangmo Fierstar.
It doesn't matter what his name was. That boy is not the type of man you can rely on. I forbid you from seeing him again, especially in this chapel. Hyacino crosses the room to the large oak table by the window before sorting through the books and old newspapers left behind, wondering why the boy had needed them. I'm already 16, Hyacino. I'll be an adult next year, so I can see whomever I want to, and you can't stop me. Hyacino stops to flick through some pages, then turns back to Sandra. Seeming to run out of courage, she looks down to the ground, her eyes rimmed with pink as she fought off tears.
A line.
Fine. I'll overlook this for now. But know when Father Turner returns.
Sunny.
What? Who's Father Turner? He's not... Wait, where can I find that? Is he in the network? Who are you? Lucian. Okay, I guess there's another character I'm gonna see coming up. But where's the one for Father Turner? I don't... Yeah, this is for the, different terms. Where's... You're not gonna tell me that you have a dang Father information unlock and then you don't even show me what the heck that is. Okay, you know what? I'll forget about it. Didn't you know Father Turner... Hyacino looks at her, bewildered. Last time he saw Turner was 2 weeks prior, right before the energetic priest had, once again, been sent to Skia to conduct the local services.
Chloe?
What about Father Turner? Sandra shakes her head.
Sure.
Father Turner can't... I'm afraid he can't come back. They said he killed someone. His first thought is that his sister is just mad at him about her boyfriend. But then he notices Sandra's pale face. She's scared.
Must.
Don't tell me you believe that gossip. He is not a murderer, Sandra.
Mr. Fear.
You can't know that for certain, brother. I even read about the case in the news. It was so... brutal. Hyacino shakes his head in disbelief. He knows Turner is devout, although occasionally unreliable, but... He knows Turner is devout, although occasionally unreliable, and had always been an honest and virtuous priest. Hyacino couldn't even consider, let alone believe, that he, of all people, would...
Mr. Clear.
Did you hear anything from the church? Hyacino shakes his head, feeling his blood run cold. Their priest had been wrongfully accused, but the Holy Church wouldn't even issue a statement because they're too busy preparing for the festival to be bothered. Sandra raises her head to look up at him, eyes darkened with fear and concern. Hyacino?
Sandra.
It's fine. I'm fine. And Turner, It's fine. Could you go back by yourself? I just need a few moments alone. Sandra stares at her brother before shuffling out of the room. Hyacino places a hand over the holy cannon, trying to calm himself, but the fear still haunts him.
In Veldren near the east.
Thus, Veldren built the altar there and arranged the wood on it, and then place the goat on top as a sacrifice.
Shamjori fir kemkrund.
But the calamities and distresses still don't pass. Turna has already been crucified by the public. If the real killer isn't caught, and the church doesn't stand up for him, he may very well be sentenced to death.
Kivisar of Voltru.
And Veldrin held his belief. He said, "In time, the truth prevails. Deliver me, O Votru. Grant me wisdom and the eyes to see through truth." Hysno stands alone in the empty library. The sound of praying hovers among the tall shelves and countless ancient books.
Vodru.
Have mercy upon us, O Votru. Votru, sorry. This is the timeline. The upper and the lower axis each represents timelines happened in different cities or different places. You can choose different chapters to play in this page. The squares on the timeline represent the events of a certain date. Each outline color of these squares represents a respective character. Once you click the squares on the timeline, the summary of this chapter will be displayed on the upper right-hand corner of the square. Click the character's avatar to begin the story. Okay, so this was Hysno's. We already did that one. So now we're on to Shervlet. A few years ago, the momentary sensation Shervlet Foursher, I don't know, was expelled from the club Stella by its snobbish owner. Now, with the help from her new patron, Shervlet was able to return to the stage with new melodies and incredible voice. But she wants more than this. Okay. Give us a show! Yeah, something high! I don't know if they were chanting or what. That was a chanting pose. It's another rowdy night at the carnival on the coast. A sea of bodies roams the streets in search of fresh delights. Before the stroke of midnight, people seek comfort from the grain and wine stalls. They sing and dance at the beach carnival, wriggling and bumping, looking for someone to enjoy the night with. However, one voice rises above the rest, high and distinct. He sings with holy reverence, but in the broken fashion of a drunk. True apostles of thine, history will be recorded. Wait a minute. No. All rise and fall will be recorded as they watch over us, forever true. No, that's not how it goes. He then realizes the young man has stumbled into a woman who, like him, looks out of place. She smells of berries and orange blossom.
Oh, Marianne.
Little boy, isn't it past your bedtime?
Huh?
Little boy? I'm not a boy. What's it to you? When he sees her face, the anger suddenly vanishes without a sound, like a cigarette blown out by the damp sea breeze. He has never seen such a charming lady, and her temptation was somewhere between taunting and arrogant. The woman chuckles and curls a finger underneath his chin, directing his gaze to meet hers. I'm not playing games with you. I'm not either. The drunkard brushes her fingers away, and she chuckles. His eyes blur, and there seems to be a cool, slippery oil rolling around in his stomach. Can I let you in on a little secret? Neo fidgets. Her beauty has an aggressive air, which makes men want to avoid her edge, but also reluctant to shift their eyes.
Huh?
What?
Marianne.
Rule number 1. A decent look is part of being a gentleman. Your fly is wide open, dear. Now, scurry home. Neo gawks as Shervlet snickers, tugging on his undone pants. He pushes her away and stumbles into the night. Satisfied, Shervlet turns her eyes to the dark sky sprinkled with twinkling stars. She gazes at their cold light for a long time, and the smile on her lips fades away. She looks at her wristwatch. The star-like diamond on the dial reflects a brilliant light. The time has come. Shervlet retreats into the club and makes a beeline backstage. The crowd of sailors and rogues swells. They grow restless, waiting for their favorite performer to take stage. Give us a show! Hurry up! Patience, gentlemen! Tonight you will be dazzled! Pieces of garbage and empty bottles fly onto the stage. Enough talk! Where's our show? Damn. Listening to the distant shouts, Shervlet changes into her dress backstage. When the hidden zipper on her waist is undone, her elegant perfume is obscured by the smell of cheap, floral alcohol water emanating from the costume. She walks in front of the mirror and looks at her face. The woman reflected back flashes a smile that shines like stars. It's the first time she's come back since it all happened. Everything around her feels familiar, but she doesn't miss her old life at all. The flames inside her still burn, from her despicable childhood through her glory days to this very moment. The span of time hasn't diluted the light, but made it blaze ever more. Oh, burning through despite it all, huh? It's the place where she lived and struggled to reach. Everything is built on her heart. No matter how low she stooped in the eyes of the world, Shervlet is unashamed. Nice. Let them bash her again. This time she will not run. This will be her stage where she alone shall exist. She will be the best there ever was. That reminded me of Pokemon for a second there, I ain't gonna lie. A sudden creak from the floorboard sends a chill up Shervlet's spine. She whips her head around, but when she sees the figure emerging from the darkness, she sighs in relief and puts the scissors back on the table.
Oh, Morien.
Maverick, don't scare me like that, darling. He appears behind her, silent as shadow. His eyes were dark as volcanic glass, pensive and unsure. How she adores them. Maverick was one of her fans, although he was hardly noticeable when Shervlet was the lady of the hour. But after all these years, she found this better than many others who ogled her while making vulgar jokes. He doesn't say a word. Sometimes silence is all they need to communicate. Shervlet feels his hand lift her hair and put something cold and heavy around her neck.
Shang.
You didn't have to.
Mufista.
It's not a problem. It's as beautiful as I imagined. Her smile is tight and incredibly sad. She lowers her eyes as she sees that crippling smile in the reflection of the rhinestones. The prideful singer disappears, and a sorrowful lady remains. Even the halo of the black pearl seems to be pale and sad. She can't afford to lose Maverick, and she is eager to fulfill their common desire. When they no longer wander, they'll become a harbor for each other. They'll create a family here in Skia, becoming the happiest couple in the world, which would also mean putting an end to their dream. Of course, Shervlet can never bring herself to end this yearning for the spotlight. Now with the spider silk in her hand, now with the spider silk in hand, she refuses to let go. Maverick,
Tisha Elaine.
Is everything all right? You don't look so well.
Paliosfe.
I'm just tired is all, darling. You sure? Don't stress yourself out. She pauses to mull over his comment. Shervlet is well aware of Maverick's unwavering love for her. Yet her soul knows how much the stage means to her. So the more Maverick cares, the more it pains her to move forward.
Morien.
Tired. I'm just tired, darling. I think it's time I move on from here. On to bigger and brighter things. Maverick was quiet for some time, running his wind-worn fingertips across Shervlet's cheek. The silence continues to fill the narrow gap between them, one's eyes chasing the other's, reluctant to move away.
Kartai Trevzer. Sumiste.
Write me when you find a new home. I'll follow you just as I follow the stars. Shervlet smiles softly, Maverick always uses his love to peel off her disguise, overflowing her heart with warm love.
Maverick.
Maverick. Go ahead. Show your voice to them.
Line.
Of course. Sorry, I gotta drink some water. Hold up. Shervlet paints her cheeks and lips in rouge. Ready to face the world, she makes her grand appearance on stage. That's it. That's our queen. Here she is, the voice of magic, Knell of Illy City. She grasps the microphone, and the crowd falls silent as she raises her hand. Shervlet's eyes glow eerily, like a cat's under the spotlight. A local band hired by her patron plays the prelude. This one is called To All the Stars in the Ellipse of Time. When she reaches the climax of the song, she changes the style and language. Much of the audience consists of crude sailors who can't even read. They don't understand the sorrow buried. Regardless, the crowd is thrilled, dancing, hooting, and hollering as Shervlet's voice peters out. Okay, now I gotta turn it down. Why is it so loud for me, dude? I don't understand. Yeah, bravo! Encore, encore! Thank you, darlings. Thank you very much. The audience is agitated. Some sailors even try climbing the stage, while many more throw flowers towards it. Red and pink petals rain down. Eager to escape the men rushing the stage, Shervlet sneaks off to the side and down the stairs. She strolls to the club's back door, only to be grabbed around the waist by a man she knows all too well. Darling, darling, bravo! What a show, my dear girl. Fowlon, the owner of Club Stella, smothers her with kisses. It doesn't seem like the same man who once threw her away. Come, come, have some food. Take a sip of this fine wine. You deserve it. He holds her hand with incredible strength.
Fyong. Shong.
That's all right, Mr. Fowlon. I insist. Fallon wraps his arm around her shoulders as he all but forces her to take a seat. She smiles and nods at him, feeling her skin crawl anywhere he touched. She quickly removes her black pearl necklace before stuffing it in her purse that rested behind Fallon. She doesn't notice the sound of crutches hitting the ground. Another hand reaches out, and this time it belongs to a foreign face. He looks very sleek, but a mink coat and tons of hair oil couldn't hide the lifeless old man's smell. He must be over 60 years old.
Yeah, for sure.
Sir Kumar, this is the gem I spoke of before. The reason our stage always delivers a dynamite performance. Kumar doesn't respond. He leers at her, focusing on her white shoulders and cleavage. Shervlet tries her best to force a smile.
Melody.
I was simply thrilled by your performance, Shervlet.
Bloche.
Thank you, Sir Kumar.
Kirstar Trin.
Sir Kumar is interested in being your newest patron. That's right. She is a little older than my expectation. Fallon usually brings those little girls, but every once in a while, it's fine. I don't mind a change. When you encounter a choice, the options will be displayed on the upper left corner. The red color option represents the default choice that will be made by the present protagonist. Okay. Click on the arrow on the right side to view different options. The story will not be changed until you click on the option. Only switching between possibilities will not change the story. Every choice made requires 1 karma point. You cannot change the story if you don't have any karma points. Note this. Changing the story's tendency with karma points essentially means changing a protagonist's thoughts permanently. Therefore, even when you repeat the changed story and let the protagonist choose, he or she will act according to the last choice you made. Wait, does that mean each playthrough of the game is remembered? And so the previous answer would become the default answer? What the fuck? Fallon smiles at her as if she should be flattered. A layer of oily sweat highlighted his nose and forehead. Sir Kumar continued staring at her, licking her collarbone with his eyes. Shervlet opens her fan and lowers her head, looking coy. She knew that covering her breast with a fan would displease him, but she's exhausted from dealing with these bastards. Bored and aggravated all at once, Shervlet looks past Kumar's and Fallon's faces. Oh, that was a limited choice. Oh. I thought I would read the text first. I didn't know it would be timed. Bored and aggravated all at once, Shervlet looks past Kumar's and Fallon's faces. Behind her conversation partners, she sees a figure. He who became Shervlet's hope when she fell in the depths of hell. The man turns and comes into focus, a 40-year-old gentleman wearing a pale suit. He simply stands there, yet his demeanor is as if he stood in a grand opera house instead of this poor little club.
Marianne.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I need to powder my nose.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course. Please. As Shervlet stands and attempts to walk away, Kumar runs his wrinkled hand down the side of her leg. Turning in disbelief, Shervlet finds Kumar smelling his withered old hand. His eyes are lewd and repulsive. Please, don't wander off now. I won't mind. Shervlet shakes in anger. She stomps off as the men get down to business, and Shervlet knows Fallon plans to sell her to Kumar for a high price tonight. Lagarde won't let that happen. No one can treat her like a toy now. Slipping through the crowd with surprising ease, Shervlet finds Lagarde and his driver waiting for her like they always do. Enough. Yes. Good night, Mr. Wyston, and...
Toi.
Robert.
Your glow.
Yes, Rob. I've had enough of it. How's everything going, Mr. Wyston?
I ring too, Jang.
That's what I want to ask you. How are you, Shervlet? Lagarde smiles and takes her hand, kissing the tips of her fingers. A fire burns at the base of her heart, making her lightheaded. Shervlet tries to keep the redness from creeping up her cheeks.
A lie.
I am well. Thank you for caring. Lagarde turns to Robert. His neutral expression doesn't change as he motions for his driver to step away. Then he moves closer to Shervlet. Robert grumbles to himself, not wanting to be far from the object of his desire. I mean it. Did you have a good time here? Shervlet can't help but give a wry smile.
Klaralian imuplaustus de vin.
What
Where's my
wild...
son?
Oh. What wild and wondrous times we live in, Mr. Wyston. Look at the carnival, a testament to human vice and wickedness. I have sung one song, the one you taught me, a song about great sorrow, separation, and death of ancient myth. Even the roses in the cemetery will shed tears. But look at them. They've been driven mad by my voice, as they are with anything that brings them joy. In their eyes, music is one of them. Even if I sing a demon song, they would be in ecstasy. She's just too tired. The peacock and pheasant feathers on her bonnet tremble in the night breeze. She snatches the hat off, throws it down, and stomps it underneath her boot.
Upper Lewis, dear.
They don't love me because of my song, my voice. A hand gently moves over her shoulder, gathering her hair but neatly in front of her chest. Lagard's soft voice comes from her side.
Vincent.
We know better than anyone how easily a man's mind can be controlled as long as the messenger is beautiful, even if the message is poison, to the ear and tongue.
Artred.
Using your unique melody to share your soul and sealing it with everyone's mind, isn't that the duty of a true singer? That's what he told Shervlet when they first met. Remember, it's hard for those audiences to enjoy the music and lyrics at the same time. However, the best singers could make them enjoy both. The songs are not an antinomian, and the lyrics can hardly be understood by your audiences, and this is exactly what you excel at. 6 months ago, Shervlet was once again kicked out of a bar she applied to. A gentleman stopped her in her tracks and told her how he would make her a true singer. During this time, they taught Shervlet singing styles, melodies, and even a new language. If it wasn't for Lagard, who opened a path for her, Shervlet never would have made it back to Club Stella. Lagard smiles and Rob returns to his master's side. Shervlet folds her arms and waits for him to gather his thoughts. We have a meeting tomorrow afternoon.
Rustia.
All of us need to attend. You shall come with us. It's time you leave the scum behind. You are meant to be a star, Shervlet, not a spoonman for... spoonman for drunk sailors. What is this? I don't even know how to pronounce that, bro. Star. For the first time, she could be connected to that word. She was born from dust, a stain Shervlet thought she could never get rid of. But now, it's time for her to be free. Okay. When will I return? Shall I inform Mr. Fallon?
Artred.
No. It is time to shed everything that has been holding you back, Fallon, Stella, Elise City, Maverick 2.
Vincent.
Erase them from your mind. They are nothing but hindrances to your destiny. You are not like them.
Rustia.
Come with me. Soon you will stand on the stage of the opera house, surrounded by dignitaries. And when you do, this will all seem like a bad dream you had while lounging on a silk sofa. As I told you before, we offer you a chance to attend the Supreme Opera and sing for the most honorable audiences at the Baptism Festival. But it falls on you to take the opportunity. With that, Lagard takes out his pocket watch to check the time. It's getting late, and we need to get back. My apologies. I'm a bit worried about leaving Rorty alone for so long. Who's Rorty? With that, Lagard turns on his heels, and Robert follows right behind. They make their way to the car, pausing by the door while Shervlet makes up her mind. Shervlet hears a wavering voice inside her heart telling her to reconsider. But soon, all hesitation dies. Everything she's experienced was leading up to this very moment. Robert waves to her serene Shervlet, and she walks gracefully towards Lagard, the very same way she entered the club. Come. She takes one last look at Stella's, and follows Lagard into the dark night. The Tide rises on the beach, and the carnival in the distance is reduced to a few broken lights. Club Stella, the land of dream and corruption, is still filled with singing and dancing, but it no longer represents Chervlet Fouchoir. I don't know how to pronounce that, bro. Fui. Goodbye. Chervlet disappears into the night, her black pearl necklace shining under the moon. Damn. Oh, we continue on our storyline. Wait, no we don't. It's Raven this time. What? In the prosperous city of Illy, Raven Wintshar, a boy from a remote area, always has to work hard as an intern to make a living. Fortunately, he has the opportunity to work for the Illy Police Department. How convenient. It's been so long since I heard a cuckoo clock. Dude. Raven glances at the clock on the wall again. The long hand strikes 12, and the short hand ticks to the next hour. It's now 9 o'clock. The sounds of the brass, the guitar, and the drums still resonate through the winter night all the way from the dock to his window. The more you listen, the louder the roar of the crowd. Raven finally puts down his pin cutter and takes off his gloves to make himself some coffee. As soon as he pushes the kitchen door open, the foul smell of fish and rust instantly gives him pause, a frown forming on his face. Oh, did we forget to put away our fish? The pots and pans are piled haphazardly in the sink, and the smell source lies on the kitchen counter. Whatever he said. I'm pretty sure he pronounced that correctly. He closes the dead fish's mouth and flips it over on its other side with a shovel. It is then that he discovers the skin on the underside burnt. Apparently, his good roommate tried to fry it, but failed miserably. Alright. He brushes the pan and puts it away, then lifts the fish by its tail and drops it in the pan and pot. I should never have expected him to take care of himself. He snatches a cucumber. Despite the trouble his roommate gave him all day, Raven decides to prepare a salad for him anyway. Aw, how kind. Shortly after he finishes the salad, Raven hears something scratching at the door lock. Okay, look, what are these files, dude? What are these files? Is it in here? Fuck! No! No! Fuck. Okay. Thankfully it brought me back here. Thank the Lord. Okay. We're going back to chopping cucumbers. I'm sorry. Oh, how do I check the files, dude? I want to check the files of the people I just unlocked. Like, there has to be, bro. There has to be. Is it? I don't know where to find it. Why is this an option, bro? I unlocked a guy named Neo. Bro, I don't know, man. I give up. I give up at this rate, dude. Shortly after he finishes the salad, Raven hears something scratching at the door lock. Neo must have been drunk again. Just 2 glasses of crappy wine and he forgets his own name. But he still can't resist drinking whenever the carnival comes around. What the fuck was that noise? Before Raven got to the door, Neo had entered, and Raven finds him leaning beside the kitchen table, looking like he was about to vomit.
Oh.
Hey, don't throw up in here! Get to the bathroom! It's easier to clean up. Raven grabs his arm and drags him out of the kitchen. Neo leans against his back, causing Raven to nearly lose his footing. Get up. Get up. Stand up straight! Neo stumbles and almost falls. He needs to make his way to the only toilet in the whole apartment. As soon as Neo gets there, he throws up in the drain. After a while, he staggers back to his room. Neo eventually began to recover. He is now brusquely tucking salad and bread into his mouth as he narrows his eyes at Raven. The lad is busy packing various items into some kind of kit. Hey, what are you doing? Isn't that the case for patient visits?
See.
Well, I received a job from some doctor at the university. I borrowed his kit when you were out rehearsing. Raven checks the equipment and other necessities while Neo finishes his bread, swiping the crumbs away from his face. He then goes to where Raven is standing and picks up a pair of forceps to play with. So, these are the tools you're operating with? But you haven't got a physician's license, have you? I can't remember.
Mojer steer.
Well, it's an autopsy on a victim that might have been involved in the recent gang shootings and serial killings. I don't know. The detective didn't tell me much. And it's best you don't touch that. Though it's been sterilized, it was used to debone and pry the skin off of dead bodies. Neo immediately tosses the instrument back into the kit. Hell, I'll never touch any of your shit again. But why'd they give this mission to you, the autopsy stuff? Sorry, excuse me. Don't they have their own forensic team? Don't know that either. I was just asked to check the corpse. Internship can't provide more standard pay, and they're giving me some extra thill for it. Oh, is that the currency name? Thill? Could it be that series of murder cases? Horrible. Said they found a new body and caught a priest. Did you hear about that? Holy shit. Why don't these white bread cops sue the Pont Swirl? The head of the West Irie Church. Okay. Don't know that either. I was just asked to check the corpse and make some extra. Internship really can't provide more. Don't feel inferior. Neil burps loudly and slaps his roommate hard on the shoulder. You're gonna be like those great doctors in bespoke clothes and gold-rimmed glasses. You won't bother leaving your golden house without at least 500 thill in your pocket. Neo's words slur out in a tune, a simple but pleasant singing voice. Raven rolls his eyes and has no choice but to grab Neo's arm and push him to his bedroom, urging him to go to bed. Don't push me! I'm not drunk. I've only had a few. Neo mumbles and strides toward his room. Wait a fat second. Wait, Neo, the guy that met, what's her face? Just now? Shervlet? Yeah. He met Shervlet, so he's the connecting bridge between these two characters. Okay. After a few steps, he suddenly turns back and shouts. Raven! Is there anything else to talk about? Oh, do you know about the performance my amazing Pearl Shell Orchestra is doing in the Holy City?
See.
You've mentioned your role in the orchestra a number of times. When you were sober, you even admitted the invitation to Thalazak came with a good deal of attention. What's going on? Yes, they think the move to perform in Thalazak is an attempt to break contact. The old men talk too much and think too little. They scare the poor girls in our group out of their wits. Now there are all kinds of rumors saying they're about to disband. As if it was because of the band itself and not those lifeless schemers. Even our lead singer suddenly ditched the performance yesterday. Guess what? Our leader said that if I do well, they'll choose me to replace her as lead singer. Now that's a first. Really? That's great. Yeah, but I got nervous. That's why they're throwing a party where we can all relax and get back together to announce the news.
Sure.
And I suppose you want me to go with you?
TC.
That's right. I can't go alone, dude. That'd be embarrassing. So, if you have time to go with me in the evening, I won't invite anyone else.
Line.
Well, I should be done before noon tomorrow. I'll go with you in the evening when I'm done. I knew I could count on you. You're definitely my best friend, man. I'll always love you. Neo's face relaxes, and then he blows a loud kiss to Raven and staggers into the bedroom. Moments later, snoring filled the hallway. Raven stares at the space where his friend had stood and heaves a long sigh. The revelry of the neglected carnival springs up again. Only this time, instead of the drums, the other instruments are more apparent. Just as Raven is almost done cleaning up all the vomit, an untimely knock rattles the door. Raven! Are you there? He frowns and looks down at the rag in his hand. He really doesn't want to make contact with the doorknob with his dirty fingers, but it isn't polite to keep the lady waiting. Raven quickly grabs a towel and wraps it around the doorknob. The moment he opens the door, a strong fragrance of perfume, or perhaps it's the smell of cosmetics, blended with the heat of the human body, blows right onto his face. A soft lump of flesh brushes against him from his shoulder to his chest. His eyes drift down to see the woman's baggy breasts, which are wrapped in a pink nightgown, hanging between them. He frowns. The landlady pulls a long face and furrows her slender brows. Insolent child! What are you all students flustered about? Apologies, ma'am, but what's the matter? What else could it be? Come down. You've got a phone call. I got a phone call? From whom? I guess I'll never know. That's okay. For Raven, the pay was as meager as expected. But Detective Whitten Lochno pushed on the work experience as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work with the Illy Police Department, which Raven couldn't resist. His peers already knew it would be one of those thankless jobs. They were happy to let the rookie have it. The mortuary is still some distance away, but he can see the door is shut. Click the clock to access the timeline page and switch stories of different characters. He looks down at the watch. 10:21 a.m., but there is no one at the door. Why? Why do you want me to go over here? Alright, well, I'm going to go back to this one.
Melody?
Excuse me? Is anyone there? Please open the door! Not long after, a man with dark skin comes out and looks at him skeptically. Who are you? Do you have an appointment?
See.
Yes. An autopsy appointment made with Detective Whitten Lochno at 11 o'clock. Are they here already? Wait for a second. The man turns away, mumbling. Raven puts the suitcase on one side of the flower bed. The Illy City Police never fails to live up to their reputation of slackness. It's just a work contract, but it should be basic etiquette to arrive at least 5 minutes in advance. At that moment, he hears the voice. A man is approaching. He doesn't wear a coat, and there was a kind of sophistication that did not correspond to his actions. He looks at Raven through the iron gate with a serious expression on his face. Raven gives him a friendly smile. Good day, Mr. Lochno. I'm the intern from Illy Medical College. But the policeman does not reply. He furrows his brow as sharp steel gray eyes carefully examine the lad. He pauses for a moment when he sees the leather-encrusted steel box Raven has with him. Noticing the coat of arms of Illy Medical University on the top, his expression softens. He takes a key out of his pocket and opens the chain on the door.
Oh.
Likewise. And Wooden Locknose the other guy. I'm his partner.
Line.
You must be Mr. Easton Nazer, then. Nice to meet you. I'm just gonna say Easton. Easton nods it and reaches out a hand to him.
Line.
Nice to meet you, too. Seems we've got two of you here. It's unusual that he would do this. Anyway, what's your name? 2 interns? Mr. Lockno didn't mention that he had invited another doctor. Invited told them there was only one place in the college. After a moment of doubt, Raven dismissed the thought. Lockno probably forgot to tell him about it, which wasn't really important.
Raven Wintshar.
Raven Wintshar. Does that mean something? Easton's hand freezes at this point, just long enough for Raven to notice the detective's extra finger. Ooh, that's cool. That's actually a thing that can happen, and it's extremely rare, but that is cool. The symbol suggests this tough guy is a Skian. It's the only race in Promland who considers it a lucky symbol. Easton pushes him out of the way and rushes into the hallway, looking around the corridor like a nervous squirrel. Gloom shadows his face, and his chin and neck are tense. Where is he? Is he gone? It's a waste of words. The answer can be seen in Easton's face. The officer strides back to the lounge and searches every corner of the room, a clue like he would a crime scene, as if the windowsill or the desk drawer could hide a living person. Easton stands and walks over to him, a determined look on his face. Raven turns his attention to the officer. Raven once again sees distrust reflected in the man's eyes. What the heck? I'm afraid I must check your intern identification, Raven.
Line.
Absolutely. Here you are, sir. Raven takes his intern identification out to show it to the detective. Easton immediately looks over and acknowledges him with a nod. Easton lifts up the white cloth that is draped over the autopsy table to check on the deceased. After seeing the condition of the corpse, he heaves a sigh of relief. Well, the good news is he didn't tamper with any evidence. Or the body. Shall we start? For a moment, Raven could not tell whether the officer was being careless or so overly cautious that he was making things up. Raven places his suitcase on the table and opens it.
Blurchy.
All right, then. I'll start. Familiarity boosts his confidence, and after putting on the latex gloves, Raven feels calmer. Even so, fresh bodies, especially when they are the victim of murder, still leave Raven full of sorrow. Immediately, Raven is particularly aware of the corpse's left arm. The skin was stripped from it all the way from elbow to underarm, exposing the deep red muscle hidden beneath. How do you pronounce it? Ishtis? It was clearly not from the autopsy, and Raven shudders at the thought that the wound might have been the result of skinned flesh. He forces himself to forget the loathsome truth, that what he saw after the white cloth was removed had not been as horrendous as his imagination feared. For instance, the corpse's face is still intact, though the cheeks are slightly sunken, and the lips and eye sockets have started to wither. The skin is, at least, still there. As for the body, it was not as lucky. The skin at the wound is soft and is torn, and the flayed edges have dried out over time. Raven examines the wound closer. From the incision to the innards, he could see the victim's organs had been tampered with. Judging from the positioning of what was left, There's a high probability that a large portion of the intestines were ripped out. Not surprisingly, considering the size of the wound, a significant number of his internal parts had also been removed. Detective Eastenezer.
Godhrkar?
Anything interesting?
Show. Steer.
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar... I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with this case. Mr. Lochno didn't give much information on the body, so it would take some time to reach a conclusion. But there's something weird about his skin. It's awfully bleak and dry. Raven gives Yitrun, I guess, an apologetic look. He stares into the police officer's eyes, and the latter does not seem to surprised at the phrase bleak and dry. He's certain the detective knew something. Sure enough, you know what, I'm going back to Easton. Easton walks up to him and pats him on the shoulder. Right. That's what the other guy said, too. Presumably, he might have been drained of blood. That's a possibility. Some form of acute anemia. He turns around and takes the scalpel out of his surgical kit. But as he's about to make contact with the body, Easton stops him. There's already a cut made. He lifts the piece of flesh up again, showing one side of the muscle to Easton. Could you locate where he lost so much blood from? Wait, you can click on the names? Yo! He is the first skin detective of the elite department, a decent man and complete workaholic with one of the highest case clearance rates in the city. Oh my god, he's the cop character of the story. Because of this, Easton is not very popular in the corrupted department. Only his partner Whitten is close to him. Yo! Raven purses his lips and places the tweezers on the tray. I can't say that with absolute certainty, but... He bends down and spends a good deal of time scrutinizing a specific gash. His eyes then flick to the victim's neck. They keep jumping back and forth as if comparing the two spots. Finally, he straightens his back.
Show.
He's got two...
Steer.
I'm sorry, I keep on interrupting the voice acting, I'm sorry. He's got two arterial cuts. One on his left arm and one on his neck, both of which could have emptied him of blood. And there's a hole in his abdomen, so it could be from his intestine. If it was severed while he was alive, that could also cause a hemorrhage. But I'm inclined to believe he was cut open post-mortem. Raven uses a surgical hook to pull open the wound in the abdomen, exposing the entire cavity. The disorientation of the internal organs clearly shows the extent to which it has been disturbed. Most of the intestines were pulled out, and everything below the colon was gone. Cruel. But what are they going to do with the guts? Staring at the corpse, Easton remains silent for a few moments. Tell me about it. To think that this is the fault of some maniacal priest. I don't buy it. A mad priest. The phrase lingers in Raven's mind for a moment. Suddenly, it comes to him that the word priest has been used in reference to that recent murder. The wandering priest from Thalazak. He looks at the internal organs of the body, and a strange feeling washes over him.
Telling.
Is this the victim of that Thalazak priest case? To be honest, I don't believe it's a priest who did it. Besides, there's no reason for him to take the guts away, unless he's fallen under the other one's believer. Invisible god, the evil that fell into sleep. Just like Votru, the other one has 4 yiches to command. They might be lurking in the shadows somewhere whilst it sleeps, abetting all evils in the world. Okay. Yeah. Go on. Raven looks at the body. This time, he spends more time staring at the victim's face. It is unusually calm, but the loose skin tells of his pain. It has the kind of look that says the person was drawn into the nightmare, experienced unimaginable distress in their last moments, and the soul was carried away by death in a trance. Judging by the look on the victim's face, I think they killed him first, and then messed up his body some time later. Raven licks his dry, peeling lips, then picks up the tweezers and points to the dead man's face.
Mojer steer.
From his expression, we can see that he seemed calm. I mean, he doesn't look like a tortured man. Easton nods. Raven moves the tweezers to the victim's neck and closes the wound there.
Show. Mojer steer.
In the case of injury prior to death, the tissues near the wound tend to shrink more significantly, and after a certain period of time, the contraction would release to a point.
Line.
This part is a classic pre-death wound. With this type of injury, you would first lose blood from the outermost part of your body, like your skin or flesh, and eventually your internal organs would stop functioning due to the bleeding. In this case, there doesn't appear to be any oddities about the blood circulation. That means the abdomen was left untouched until after the death of this man. He leaves the tweezers and draws Easton's attention to the color of the body's muscles.
Line nexie.
I can't give you a specific time, but the likely sequence of injuries can be deduced. Look at these wounds, which are all exposed to the air. The muscle on the arm is darker than those on the abdomen, which means it would have been inflicted quite earlier.
Mojer steer.
The contraction of the surrounding skin is also more pronounced than those on the abdomen, suggesting that the cut on the arm was done shortly after death, after the cut on the throat, but before the abdominal incision. So, the perpetrator wrung his body, stripped him, then dug out his guts. Well, it sounds like an evil ritual, which probably can't be done by a typical priest, even with this kind of weapon, right? Raven turns around and spots a dagger where Easton's fingers are pointing. It has a slender gray blade. The priest's dagger. Raven had heard about it. He shakes his hand and sets the tweezers back onto the tray.
Bodish.
I'm sorry, but I don't know much about weapons. I think you're right, though. The characteristics of the wounds suggest they were made by a thicker and more exquisite blade, like a hunting knife. Raven nearly chokes on his thought. Special knife those top hunters have. He takes the severed intestine and shows Easton the cut.
Mojer steer.
Look at the twist on the slice, meaning the killer used it just twice to cut it off. Where the skin was flayed, the tendons were torn to shreds, and the blood vessels and muscles were badly damaged. If there was only these two wounds, I would think the killer did it in a hurry. Raven picks up a hook and pulls open the wound on the neck.
Show.
But this wound is completely different. The knife must have gone in a downward direction, cutting the carotid artery clean without harming the trachea. Which wouldn't be possible for the typical person, except for butchers, surgeons, or those with such a steady and sturdy hand. Which is another reason I don't believe the killer is the priest. He puts the hook back. Easton looks up with interest at Raven, clapping a few cheers for him. Splendid. You definitely deserve the title of Illy Medical University's top intern, all right. Raven hesitates for a brief moment, flustered over Easton's compliment.
We're telling.
I made another discovery, but am not sure about it. I think the body was moved after it was completely stiff. The leg is in an abnormal state of stiffness, as well as the shoulders. You'd better search again where you found the body. It's probably not the primary crime scene.
Godhrkar.
The scene is still in isolation, but I will apply for a third round of search. What do you see regarding the identity of the deceased? Look at him. Look at him. What do you think? Raven glances at him, then ponders for a moment. He looks at the corpse's face, down to the bare black-brown chest, and he finally picks up one of the hands, showing it to Easton. He doesn't look like local. Tracer or Sudan or maybe some oceanic peoples. Immigrants fit the profile. They seldom relate to other locals, and only a few of them go to the police, even if someone goes missing. Is that right?
Twiline.
Makes sense, but not enough. A person's hand and legs often tell the story of one's life. Look, the skin on his hands is rough and pleated, and there are thick calluses, indicating he often engaged in heavy physical labor.
Slish.
And here, look at his knees. They're twisted and deformed, the result of long-term exposure to seawater. Adding everything up, he was probably a fisherman or sailor.
N. C.
I see. Raven places the body's hand back in its original position and covers the deceased with the white cloth. Easton finishes writing, flicks the black notebook closed, straightens up, and nods at Raven. I think I've got it. Thank you very much for your help. I'm going to both the docks and the port to get some information. We will pay your salary within 3 days and send the check to your mailbox. Don't forget to keep a lookout for it.
Line. Blotzy.
Right. Thank you very much, sir. Raven breathes a sigh of relief. He wipes the tweezers and scalpels with gauze, wraps them in a bag, and then puts them in another bag. They'll need to be sterilized again when he returns. Easton speaks while watching him. Raven Wintshire, right? You're a good intern. Have you thought about working here in forensics? The pay isn't bad, and a few of the old doctors should be retiring soon. Raven's hands stop for a moment. He flashes a smile at Easton.
Bodish.
I'm afraid I didn't have that intention. I'd rather be a surgeon back home, but I'll take your advice into consideration. Thank you. It's nice to be a surgeon, but is staying in Illy City all that bad? It's a mess sometimes, but for most people, it's a good place to grow up and live in. Raven takes off his now sticky latex gloves. Easton observes Raven rub his fingertips as his eyes dart back and forth, as if weighing his words.
Show.
Oh,
Wire. Steer.
it's not about Illy City. I have relatives back home, and I study medicine to go back to take care of. Easton notices a slight change of light and shadow on the young man's face. The outer corners of his brows droop, but Raven's amber eyes sparkle, and his lips curve upwards. A nostalgic smile reflects off the face of the pale, melancholic intern. Raven has no idea that his eyes and lips are revealing the secrets of his heart.
Oh.
Well, is she in poor health? You can bring your family here.
Mic off. Mic on.
The weather in Illy City is perfect for recovery. Easton watches Raven lower his eyes and close the box's buckles one by one. The two fall silent for a while, and only the clattering of metal clasps can be heard in the morgue. It's not about the disease, it's just... Alright. I'm gonna have to end it here, guys. I'm going to see if I can... How do I save? How do I save? Yo, I don't... Man, I'm gonna have to Google it. Hold up. This is awkward. I have to go in a sec. I'm sorry. Kind of a short stream today. Okay, how do I save? doesn't even show it. Okay. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, I'm just gonna go. But yes, doing good so far. Wait. Hold up. Hold up. They said 5 and 6 was in English. Does that mean these coming chapters will not be in English? If so, that's gonna be so sad. Okay, yeah, but we'll pick this up at another time. I will see you guys later. Yeah. Thank you for joining in. And I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And I will see you later.